Number 6. This is one of my favorites. Doing business in Toastmasters. Doing business in Toastmasters. And let's start with the word quorum. What's a quorum?
Quorum 51%.
It's an English word that means
نصاب.
النصاب. فهي ليست القرم ابن الحمار. القورم. What's the quorum for a club of 20 members? What's the quorum for a club of 20 members?
The average attendees of the last 3 meetings.
There's a sound here. Quack, quack, quack. Didn't work. 11 is a nice answer, but the real answer should be depends. Are we talking about regular business or special business? And there is usually a definition for what's regular, what's special. 91 and 95. Okay? Regular business, it's 50% plus 1. So here it's 11. For special business, depending on the club as well, it's either 2/3 or 3/4. So it becomes 15 or 2/3, 13.3, 14. Here 16 probably. Okay? So the quorum changes depending on the nature of business. Okay? So it's not a simple answer of 50 plus 1.
What's the example for regular business?
For example, regular business, like we want to...
Changing the place.
Changing the place in Toastmasters is actually 2/3. Changing the place is a major thing in Toastmasters.
So the major thing.
In the bylaws, exactly. It's 2/3. Because you add, in the bylaws it says we meet in this place. If you want to change it, there should be 2/3 of the club. Okay, so now we have one new information about the quorum. Now let's add another new information. What if we have 20 members? Only 12 have been attending for the past 4 or 5 meetings. The others are paying their dues. So technically they are members. Okay? So what's the quorum for regular business? From now on, let's continue on the regular. What's the quorum for regular business? No, it's from the club. It's 11. Right?
Yes.
Which they will never achieve.
For sure.
Because 12, not necessarily all time they attend. So 11 is something impossible to achieve. What if there were 10 active members? They will never get 11. So the thing is, here we add the word active members. And this is usually in the internal bylaws of the club. You define a special policy for active or inactivating and then activating members. In one club that I was a member of, in the golden years, we had 50 active members. And if you remember the speeches, that was a nightmare. 50 icebreakers, 50 so-and-so, 6 DCP champions because they want to speak. We were just exporting speakers to all clubs. With active members, we had a strict policy that says, if you are absent for 3 consecutive meetings, so in the attendance, meeting 1, 2, 3, 4, and here he did not attend, he did not attend, he did not attend. In meeting number 4, he attends, but he is not active. And that's real time. If you use proper templates, attendance sheets, immediately the secretary, when you ask the secretary, do we have quorum? Yes, we do, Your Honor, Mr. President. Or they do calculations and they publish that by the time you do the business meeting. Instead of, do we have quorum, Mr. Secretary? It's not nice. You want to say you have the records. You have templates. You immediately, upon the start of the meeting, you know if you have quorum or you don't. We added to that policy, we said, okay, what if they were absent here and here, but attended here? Then they were absent here and absent here. Meeting 5. In meeting 6, they are inactive. So we said in that policy, if they are absent 3 consecutive meetings or 4 in the past 6 meetings, they are considered inactive. Why the torture? Because we don't want somebody who doesn't attend meetings to come and say, this is a lousy place. They don't attend and they just come and شو الكلمة اللي يتفلسفوا بالإنجليزي؟ philosophize. Okay? بيجي بتفلسف. So what we want active members to have a say. So we add to the word quorum 51% of that active membership. Now, of course, you should add a policy how to activate them again. Back then, in the golden years, we said they have to attend 3 consecutive meetings to become active, which was almost impossible. And we were okay with that because we were accepting lots of members. Instead, we said 2 consecutive meetings, and that's how it happened. So it was real time. I can share with you an Excel file for one club, 24 meetings, 70 names, 50 active members, and you can see the X's, the grayscale, active, inactive, calculations. Very nice Excel file that was developed. And at that time, my wife was the secretary of the club. So, now you have the quorum. Yes, we have 7 people attending. We can do the regular business. Let's look at 2 more tips. We have elections. And we have 3 candidates, A, B, and C. And we have 20 members attending. We have quorum, everything. We do the elections. A gets 9 votes. B gets 6 votes. And C gets 5 votes. Who wins the elections?
No, who voted for me?
I love the answer, depends. But see, this is not the right answer here. The right answer here is no one. We remove C and we do the second round. So we have, let's say, 19 votes, and A gets 10, B gets 9, and we have probably one who left the room or abstention. The winner is the one who gets the majority of the votes.
It's like elimination, right?
Yes, so you have rounds. Now, in Toastmasters, we usually remove the least. So if we have 7 candidates, probably we'll have 6 rounds. Or one who wins from the first round by getting the majority. In Egypt, what they did for the presidential elections, they had 2 rounds. The first round with so many candidates, the second round with the top 2. So you should also design a policy for your elections if you have more than 2 candidates. What happens?
What about the inactive members? They are allowed to do election?
Oh, once you do the voting, inactive members, they don't vote. You only calculate the majority of the votes, not the majority of the active. So if we have 20 active members, what's the quorum? 11. We had 19, so we have a quorum, right? 10 by 9. 10 is the majority of the 19. It's not the majority of the 20. So he wins because he got the majority of the votes. We don't compare after voting the majority of the membership. Another tip, we have a motion. We have 20 members, and the motion with and against, and of course abstentions. With the motion, 10 votes. Against the motion, 9 votes, 1 abstention. Does the motion go through? Sure. Don't be afraid. Yes, you can answer yes. Now people become worried. If I say yes, he'll say, wrong. No, it's yes. The motion passes because they got majority of the votes, right? majority of the votes. What if with was 9, against was 9, and of course here 20 plus chairman? They say the chairman doesn't vote, right?
Unless there is a tie.
Unless there's a tie. My question to you, and this is very controversial in the world of parliamentary procedures. If we have 9 and 9, does that chairman need to vote? The vote
I think you should.
Yes.
Or let somebody else votes.
No, now we have one missing vote, the chairman.
The president.
We have a tie, the president or the chairman. Usually the chairman can be the president, can be somebody else. But whoever chaired the meeting of the elections, his vote is left to the end. Not a tie. This is the motion failure.
Oh, okay.
If he doesn't vote here, the motion fails. Because this is the sentence. The motion failed to get the majority. So it fails. Only if he wants the motion to pass, he will add one vote here. He will vote with. So voting against will not really add value. Already the motion failed because because it's salamat. عين وصابتك.
Isn't this against democratic? That means the influence of one person.
See, that's the
The
thing.
chairman is influencing.
Yeah, لحظة. The thing is, the motion failed to get majority, so it fails. If the president or the chairman wanted to pass, he gives the yes. No need to give the no, because it's already failed. Okay? The controversial part, 8 with, 9 against, 3 abstentions. Can the chairman vote? This is the controversial part. The controversial part is, some people might say, the results are announced, it has already failed. Sorry, 9, 8, and 3. This is the 9. Some people say no need to vote because it has already won the majority. Other people might say no, he can still say against, have a tie, and it fails. So this is up to your club policy. Did you understand this?
Yes.
9 with, 8 against. Now we can announce the result. So he gets the paper and he says, 9 with, 8 against, and I'm also against. There's a tie, it fails. Or he says, 9 with, 8 against, it passes. The majority wins.
It's never forgetting the result. Which drug is this? Okay, raising the hands or raising the nations? Which one is more effective?
We're trying to avoid politics. However, if you see the Democratic Party voting on some amendments, if you search the Democratic Party, the US Democratic Party, voting on amendments, you can see the irony on the votes by voice. They voted, all in favor say aye, they said aye, they were against say nay, they said nay, especially Arab Americans, because some amendments were actually not good. So what happened, they repeated the vote, and he said the ayes have it. And you can listen clearly that no, the ayes don't really have it. So that's where you come into splitting the house, meaning you have votes in writing. I'm against the aye and the nay because sometimes you have proxies. It means your physical voice is for your votes, and you have one proxy, so one vote. And he has 4 proxies, and still his voice is low. Aye for one proxy, A for 4 proxies, it doesn't sound right. So instead, I always suggest that you use balance. Now there are certain topics that the chairman feels already self-resolved. One last tip to end this with, when you're chairing a meeting and you have somebody who is proposing something and one person comes against the proposal, of course you direct your talk to the chairman. You don't say, I'm against your proposal. Instead, Mr. Chairman, I'm not with the proposal or against the proposal that was presented. Because the proposal now is owned by the group and the chairman is managing the discussion. So with, against, opinions or pass, and then you reply. You don't give the same person the speaking opportunity twice if there is anybody in the audience did not get the chance to speak. That's how you manage. And this is where we use the word round robin. Round robin means quick discussion in order. So the motion is to change the meeting place from this location to another location. Anybody to second? Yes. Anybody against? No, this is a nice location because it's in the center. Somebody else would say no because it doesn't have parking or AC. No, but we don't want this to become a debate. So instead, why the motion? Why against? Any other opinions with or against in order. That's called round robin. Then you answer. Then he answers. Then we continue in these circles until we feel all points have been discussed thoroughly. We try to manage the discussion, not to have a debate. I would suggest that your club to hold the parliamentary procedure training. It's a formal training session, 1 or 2 hours, only for parliamentary procedures and how to manage meetings. Shall we move to the next?
Yes.